The NFL offseason is completely underway, and the Las Vegas Raiders are in a very interesting spot. Just a few weeks ago, they decided to hire Pete Carroll as their new head coach, while also bringing in John Spytek, a brand new GM to the organization. And over the past few weeks, while they've been here, they have been discussing what direction they want to take this team in. But the one thing that's for certain is Pete Carroll is not going to want to be in a rebuild, right? He'll be here for the next few years. He's getting up there in age, and we don't expect him to be in the NFL too much longer. Pete Carroll's resume is already amazing. He's one of the few coaches in the history of the NFL to win not only a Super Bowl, but also a national championship in college football with USC as well. The resume's there. But the major question mark right now is not the team, right? They have a lot of young players, and Brock Bowers, who looks like he is going to be probably the best tight end in football and maybe one of the best, right? You have Max Crosby, one of the best edge rushers, one of the best pass rushers in football today, with Pete Carroll, who is an ultimate motivator. John Spytek, a guy who has won a Super Bowl in Tampa Bay as an assistant GM. This team is preparing for a great offseason, but the one major question mark is obviously the quarterback position. Now, there are a lot of names out there. You can go ahead, you can keep and develop Aiden O'Connell. There's guys like Geno Smith. There's a guy like Sam Darnold. There's players like Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, who has already had a connection with Pete Carroll. There's a lot of options out there. Real quickly, before we deep dive into this breaking news, this video, make sure you guys do me a favor and comment down below right now. Who do you think would be the dream fit at quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders under Pete Carroll, whether it be someone who's already established, or if Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward could fall or they trade up? What is the dream scenario for the Raiders? Let me know in the comment section and leave a like real quick. Let's dive into the video.
The Raiders would love to have that kind of problem where they got a guy that's going to win a bunch of regular season games. And when you look around the league at the teams that are looking, I think Darnold becomes an attractive name, and there are many others out there.
Owner who probably is a big fan of Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady in Vegas.
Oh, I didn't even think of a
steal. I think the Raiders are going to make a play for Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold's a candidate to be the Raiders quarterback. We'll see whether Minnesota lets him go or not, but let's see if that works out with Sam Darnold winding up in Vegas.
Now, even with all this speculation on maybe Sam Darnold, maybe Justin Fields, maybe Aaron Rodgers, maybe Geno Smith or a rookie quarterback, I'm still hearing a lot of rumors about bringing back Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll together. Obviously, they already have that pedigree, they already have that chemistry together. But then I'm also hearing, if that does potentially happen, what about going out there and bringing in a DK Metcalf, right? Trading a second round pick for DK, getting Russell, DK, and Pete Carroll back together, and then using that first round pick to draft a running back that this team desperately needs in Ashton Jeanty. And then all of a sudden, you're looking at a brand new offense with Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, Ashton Jeanty, Michael Mayer. That offense would be absolutely different, right, compared to this year or this last season. But there's also some more news swirling around right now. Now, as we speak, there have been multiple news sources coming out thinking that the Raiders are going all in for Pro Bowl quarterback Sam Darnold, and they might even hand him a $114 million contract to him, and keep him here for as long as Pete Carroll's here, right? At the very, very least. And that is a viable option. Sam Darnold actually is coming off a massive season. This last season, Sam Darnold actually ranked 12th among 75 possible quarterbacks in overall quarterback grade. According to PFF, was one of the best quarterbacks in football, threw 35 touchdowns to 12 interceptions and threw for over 4,300 passing yards, which ranked 5th in the NFL. I mean, this is a guy who broke out, right? No one really expected him to have this type of impact, but led his team to the playoffs where, unfortunately, things did not go perfectly. Week 18 had a chance to win the division and kind of crumbled, and then in the playoffs as well, had some really bad games. But ultimately, this is a guy that will give you some really good regular season play, right? Guaranteed. We don't know how good he will be in the playoffs. That's still a big question mark. But at the end of the day, this Raiders team does not want to rebuild. Pete Carroll does not want to rebuild. The organization, the front office, the ownership, they're done. Tom Brady, done losing games. And I guess my question to you guys is, what do you think would be the best thing for the Raiders to do? Is that first scenario with Russell Wilson, trading for DK Metcalf, drafting Ashton Jeanty? I mean, you could do the same thing with Sam Darnold, right? You could still go get a guy like DK Metcalf, draft a guy like Ashton Jeanty. You could, draft the Arizona wide receiver if you wanted to. But real quickly, before we dive into a bunch of free agents that are not only available, but potentially leaving this Raiders team, do me a big time favor, guys. Hit the like button if you want more of this content throughout the rest of the offseason. I do plan on dropping a bunch, right? A bunch of film. Whoever the Raiders sign, we got you covered with film analysis. Whoever the Raiders draft, film analysis. Whoever the Raiders trade for, we're going to give you some film analysis for it. So make sure you guys do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. It's free, doesn't cost anything, and so much more film going to come out soon. With that being said, let's kind of dive back into the video. Now, when we take a look at some of their potential free agents that they're going to lose, let's just look at some guys that they probably should want to bring back. Now, first of all, I mean, this dude Chason was unreal with Patrick Graham's defense. He really started to show out, and he's a guy that I am really high on. So honestly, I would bring him back. I know Malcolm Kuntz is out there as well. He's a potential free agent that you might want to give a lot of money to. He was starting to break out, but is he going to be asking for too much money? Divine Diablo is a big piece of this defense and the interior of the linebacker core. Do you bring him back, right? There's a guy like Nate Hobbs. I mean, another one. Nate Hobbs, if you're going to come out here and add Pete Carroll, who's really good with secondaries, really good with defenses, Nate Hobbs is a guy you're probably going to want to keep. So, yes, they have a lot of cap space, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of guys that they need to re-sign. Now, I want you guys to comment down below some names on this list, right? Trayvon Moehrig, you got Marcus Epps, both your starting safeties. There was a couple of guys who started to break out in the season, but who on this list do you think are priority re-signs? Let me know in the comments down below. And when we actually sit here and look at the rankings, this team was terrible. Let's just be honest with you, right? The offense was 29th in the NFL in points per game. The defense was 25th in the NFL in points allowed per game, right? The run game, 32nd, worst in the league in terms of yards per rush. Defensively, they were actually at a pretty good run defense, even without Christian Wilkins, so major shout out to Patrick Graham there, and their pass defense wasn't bad at all. The major issue was this team did not know how to maintain drives, right? Sustain drives. They couldn't, which allowed other teams to have more possessions, more time of possession, and more opportunities to score the ball, which kind of brought this defense down. But Patrick Graham, by no means, had a bad year as a DC, which is why they brought him back. But this offense needs to be better, and you need a quarterback. That is the biggest thing. Go get Sam Darnold. Go get Russell Wilson. Go get, hell, even Aaron Rodgers for a one-year deal wouldn't be terrible, right, compared to what they have now. I want you guys to leave me a comment. What do you think is the best thing they can do? And with this breaking news that they're ready to just hand off the money to Sam Darnold, do you guys think that's the right decision? Yes or no? Comment down below. It's some really big breaking news here. But man, I mean, Pete Carroll, he wants to win. This team wants to win. They're ready. Tom Brady, they're ready to change this organization around. So we'll see what happens, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, turn on post notifications. Let me know what direction is the best way to go in your opinion.